All right, guys, so super liberal mayor of Chicago, failing mayor, Lori Lightfoot was confronted about the crime that's spiking in Chicago by a Newsmax reporter. And let me tell you, boy, she got triggered. Okay, she got triggered. She got upset. And she got so upset that she had to resort to outright lies about the facts. Outright lies. I've never seen anything more egregious than the lies that Lori Lightfoot told to defend herself against a very fair question from a Newsmax reporter. Because, again, these liberals, once they get hit with questions from conservatives, hard questions, they fold. That's why they don't like taking questions from conservative reporters. But before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a liberal's worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. Sorry, guys. If you've watched my channel, like almost 6 or 7 months ago, I used to do that intro, right? And my homies was telling me, like, bro, you need to bring that back. You got to start saying that again because it's hilarious. And so I decided to bring it back for this one video. So, hey, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and play this clip of the Newsmax reporter confronting Lori Lightfoot over Chicago's rising crime. Take a look.
You have a question, sir?
Yeah. So my question is, do you feel personally responsible for the your rhetoric, your heated rhetoric is responsible for this off-the-charts violent crime in the city of Chicago?
All right. So,
I have a
No,
follow-up
that's
question.
you asked several questions.
Oh no, I have a follow-up. No, I only asked one question.
okay. So,
White reporter in the house.
Let's be respectful.
so you know what? That's not
not
appropriate,
necessary.
sir.
Yeah, I know.
If you
Well,
look
turned
around
my
you,
mic off.
if you look around you, sir, you're surrounded
Okay.
by white reporters. So I really ask you
Okay.
to
Do you
hold
feel
on, sir.
responsible?
Let me answer the
Please,
question that you've
please.
already asked. So I don't know where you're from.
I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago.
I know what
Born and raised
I know
south
what
side.
magazine
Sir.
you're from, and I know what your conservative
Okay.
viewpoints are. But on almost every question that you ask, you had the facts wrong. So here's what I will say in answer to about the 15 questions that you just asked. No one thinks that a single act of violence is ever acceptable, least of all me. The hotels are where they are here in Chicago, as they are across the country, because of economic shutdown related to COVID-19. So that the premise of your very first question is fundamentally flawed and wrong. And you can have your opinion on it, but I got the facts. And what we're here to celebrate is the reopening of our city, the great enthusiasm that our residents and our tourists have. If you look at the actual facts, sir, what you're going to find is that on our weekends, when people are engaging in leisure travel, our hotels are seeing unprecedented levels of occupancy, in some instances higher than pre-pandemic. I think that speaks to the nature of our city and the value that people place in being here in the city. Another data point that maybe you're not aware of, but I will share with you. Over the course of this pandemic, we've had 32 plus relocations of corporate businesses to the city of Chicago. Businesses that could have relocated anywhere but chose Chicago. Why? Because we have a great economy. We have a diversity of our economy. We have a great workforce, and they're happy to be here because of the values that they find in the city of Chicago. So the premise of your question, which is it's chaos everywhere, and the fact of the matter is, sir, which you also didn't point out, but I will, so we get this straight, is that we're actually seeing a decline in homicides and shootings. Yes, sir.
How are thousands?
Sir, we are done.
sir.
Heather
All
is
right,
next.
here's my question. Here's
You
my
have.
follow-up
We're
question.
done. Stop.
No.
question,
Let him ask his
if I
follow-up
may.
question so he doesn't claim that somehow we're being biased and slighting the guy from Newsmax. Please, sir, it's 6:30 going on 7. Ask your follow-up question.
Well, my follow-up question is simply this. Many residents in Chicago feel that you've lost control of the city. Now it appears as though you've lost control of the Chicago City Council. Do you owe an apology to the victims of violent crime, the thousands of unsolved shootings and murders and stabbings and random stabbings in the downtown and the south side and the north side and the west side? Do you owe these people any apology?
So once again, sir, I ask you to get your facts right. Crime is not out of control in our city. In fact, crime is on the decline. All of our major indices show that the decline in crime and our homicides and our shootings year over year are down. That's a fact, sir. And you, sir, I was polite.
Thank you.
And allowed you to spew your rhetoric, which is offensive to me and others, but I'm trying to be polite and professional and answer your question. But if you want to write your own narrative and irrelevant to what I'm going to say and what the facts are, then we'll just move on to the next reporter.
All right, guys. So one of the parts about that clip that I absolutely love is the fact that reporter was like, but I'm a white reporter now. I'm a white reporter. We know y'all discriminate against us. I just want y'all to know I'm white. Right? That was actually hilarious because he's kind of turning back around the whole, discrimination thing. Okay, you know how black people, they want to claim discrimination, so they, get special privileges, right? So he's like, listen, you discriminate against white reporters, so I'm going to claim white here, right? So I can get my privilege card while asking you questions. Now, you notice how hostile Lori Lightfoot's minions were towards him, how that woman kept trying to take the mic away from him, right? Because they don't want to get hard questions because they know that the facts are not on their side, despite what Lori Lightfoot was lying about, because that's all she was doing. She was just straight lying. I honestly, I've never seen anything this egregious before, guys, because let's actually take a look at the facts. Lori Lightfoot is saying that murders and shootings are down, okay? That's what she's saying, year over year. Now, here's a chart, just to start off here. I want to be 100% fair to Miss Lori Lightfoot. This is the murder count in Chicago since 1964. Now, Lori Lightfoot did not take over until 2019, in which, again, according to this data right here, the murder count was 490 the year that she took over in 2019. For the 2020 data, guys, this is as of July 2020, okay? As you can see, as of July 2020, you can see it's at 353. So that means that halfway through the year, it is projected to be about 700 murders for 2020 in Chicago, right? Which is be significantly more than 2019. Significantly more. Okay, that's the year that Miss Lori Lightfoot took over. Now, guys, let's see how many murders there actually were in 2020. Let's actually take a look at the facts here, since Miss Lori Lightfoot wants to talk about the facts. After 3 years of progress, Chicago's murder tally skyrockets in 2020. Let's read here. An 8-year-old girl fatally shot while riding a car with family members in Canaryville. A popular Southside rapper killed in a daylight shooting along the city's ritziest shopping corridor. A mother of two stabbed to death while at work at Wicker Park's Walgreens store. A well-known influential gang member shot and killed while driving in part of a Humboldt Park that's long been a hotbed for gang conflicts and open-air drug markets. After 3 years of declining violence, Chicago's murder tally soared in 2020 as city leaders, including a new Chicago police superintendent, were forced to confront widespread civil unrest and the COVID-19 pandemic. As of December 31st, the city recorded 774 murders in 2020, an increase of more than 50% from the 509 murders in 2019, according to a database maintained by the Chicago Sun-Times. Again, that 2019 number is slightly more from this source than the AP source that I showed you, but it's still in the ballpark. But you guys get the overall point. You guys get the overall point. Literally, the year after Lori Lightfoot took over, murders were up more than 50%, a 50% increase. Okay? Like, come on now. The uptick was felt across the city as 20 of the CBD's 22 police districts recorded more murders in 2020 than the year before. The overall shooting incident skyrocketed too, rising from 2,120 in 2019 to 3,237 as of December 27, 2020. So more than 1,000 shootings. 1,000 more shootings, guys, under Lori Lightfoot in 2020 than it was in 2019. This is the same mayor that says she has the facts. She just flat out lied. Just flat out lied, guys. I mean, like, come on. Okay, maybe in 2020, maybe she's talking about things being down in 2020. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Maybe that's it. Let's see about 2020. Murders, carjacking spike in first 3 months of 2020, although overall crime down from last year, police say. While the pandemic drags and continues to hamper many people's routines, violent crime in Chicago isn't taking a break. Carjackings are higher than 2020, and murders in the first 3 months of this year rose 33% over the same period last year, while shootings spiked 43%. But at the same time, overall crime in Chicago is down 27% in the first 3 months of 2020 over last year, when all major crimes, including sex assault, burglary, and theft, are included. Wait, so she got one thing right. The overall crime is down, but everything else in reference to murders and shootings, she's just objectively wrong. She's just objectively just false. Okay, she just flat out lied. The monthly crime statistics report released Thursday by the Chicago Police Department hijacked some improvements from 2020, a year that saw a 50% spike in murders and carjackings amid civil unrest. One positive in the report, although carjackings are still higher than a year ago, carjackings in March were 33% lower than in February, police said, feeling the pressure as carjackings more than doubled citywide. Chicago Superintendent David Brown added 40 officers and 4 sergeants to a carjacking task force in February. Shootings and murders also rose this year. There were 706 shooting victims and 130 murders reported in the first 3 months of 2021, a steep rise from 2020, which saw 493 murder victims and 98 murders over the same period. Comparing March 2021 to March 2020 shows a similar increase. There were 298 shooting victims and 42 murders in March 2021, while there are 175 shooting victims and 28 murders in March 2020, according to the statistic. Every metric for shooting and murders was higher in 2021 than in any of the years included in CPD's report, which contained numbers going back to 2018. Okay, so what the hell is Lori Lightfoot talking about? What is she talking about? Because I just pointed out that when she took office in 2019, murders and shootings were up the next year, and this year is projected to be even worse. Like, come on now. Come on. How stupid does she think people are? Facts are stubborn. She tries to shut down this Newsmax reporter as if what he's spitting is just rhetoric, right? Oh, it's just rhetoric. It's just rhetoric. It's just a narrative. When dude is questioning you on the facts. And then she turns around and makes up her own facts, alternative facts, and then thinks that she shut him down or something. Right? It reminds me of when Joy Reid debated Christopher Rufo. When dude was pointing out his facts, and then she's just like, oh, no. You're just making it up. What you're saying is just rhetoric. And then she goes and presents her own alternative facts. That's how liberals debate. That's how liberals engage in conversation. It's not done in good faith. They're not arguing in good faith. Lori Lightfoot just flat out lied. Just flat out lied. And then try to pretend like she took that she's on the high ground and that she's right. She just lied. Said homicides and shootings are down when the facts say they literally the exact opposite. And it's not even like it's close. It's not even like it's close. Right? It blows my mind. But kudos to the Newsmax reporter here for standing his ground and asking the tough questions, and keep doing it. Keep asking the tough questions. Right? Because again, as much as she wants to make up her own alternative facts, she can't escape the real facts, which is that Chicago right now is experiencing unprecedented murders, shootings, and gang violence. And it's basically a hellhole for those citizens, and she should be held responsible for it. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.